Garden of Eatin, Garden of 18, Part 2. So here we are right now in the Northern Hemisphere on November the 14th, 1114. 3 and 4 is 7, 2018 is 11, so it's 18 today, 1 and 8, 9. That's today's gematria value. So also, yeah, we're going to the sun's going to his death here, symbolic death at the Tropic of Capricorn, where he's in his tomb for 3 days, solstice, sun stands still. For 3 days, the sun's in this position from the 21st to 24th, and on the 25th, God's son's rebirth day, he starts going up. He goes up a degree, and he begins a rising to Aries, the house of the rising sun. Aries arise through January, February, Aquarius and Pisces, Aqua Osiris, Pisces. He's rising and shining, and then the spring equinox in March, which is Mars, originally month number 1. This explains why you got this weird thing here now where September through December, which have their Latin names, mean 7 September, October 8, Novum 9, December 10. Why those are out of order now. Because of the Romans. The good old Romans of the Romance. And also before this, I was talking about this in the first part. Before this, before you had the Bible of the Jews, the Torah of the Taurus, El, you had the Phoenicians with their phonetics, you had their god El, Elohim. Hebrew have Elohim, which is gods plural. That's actually what this God is, so they friggin' mistranslated it when they put it into English. It's not God, it's gods. It's the 7, the deities of astrology. Or is it aliens, as some say, you know, alien geneticists who with their genetics and genesis. This is not a history book, you know, I'm sure. I'm no frickin' Bible expert, but to me this looks obviously symbolic of your body. It's binding spine. Bible, biblio, biology, book, body, boat, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Not someone else's boat, row your boat. Steer your ship. Take your will and your wheel and steer it, and don't try to take over someone else's boat, as most of the people on this global, corporate, capitalist, commercial, socialist slave farm of society. It's a plantation, like Prince said before they killed him in the elevator. They put him in the elevator going down. And if the elevator brings you down, let's go crazy, right? There was also Indian philosophy. There was yoga, and Jesus says, take my yoke. He's a freaking yogi. As I've said before, here's my notes that I made at work on the cash register synchronicities yesterday for today that I wanted to do in the presentation to make sure I don't forget this stuff. California, a climate sacrifice zone. They have that high pressure dome over California, the goddess of death, the dance of death of this time of year, which is the dying sun in the embers of September through December. Life, death, and rebirth, all here. It's all here. Life, death, rebirth, resurrection. Why do you think they put Easter, or they put this Easter ritual of Esther of the estrogen in April? April's Aphrodite, when the sun's ascending, arising and shining, going to the Tropic of Cancer for the summit of the summer. Easter, Esther, estrogen, estrus, yeah. See Truth Heresy's work, see Cullen Smith's work. Cullen Smith. So, and then eviction. Eviction, evacuation, evisceration, events, all events, even. See, the Adam and Eve and the odd and the odd are odd and even, and they have to do with this Hermetic science, this occult science of the ancient world of Hermes Trismegistus, Thoth, magic arts, which has to do with language. He introduced writing, Mercury closest to the sun, 88 day a year, 88 miles per hour. He introduced writing, hieroglyphs, the arts, all of it. Healing, medicine, all of it. Culture. It's all credited as coming from above, from the light. That's what we're dealing with, the 7 principles of Hermetic science. One of which is gender, and it says all gender is in all things. Just like in Taoism, they say yin, the moon, the feminine, yin is in everything, and yang is in everything, the sun, the masculine, the male genitals, and the female. This gender is a principle, and it's everywhere, and it's in everything. It has to do with the sun and the moon, the solar and the lunar, the day-night cycle, the up and the down, the on and the off, the seesaw, swing set, up and down, sliding and slipping, and sleeping and waking. It has to do with all of this, knowledge of good and evil, opposites, pairs of opposites. And the serpent, which is depicted as Christ on a medieval coin and all over the place, it has to do with Hermes, right? The serpent is not what people think. Neither is God, the gods. The world needs you to program you into left brain dominance, using only 3%, and keeping you out of this right hemisphere of intuition, which would complete the whole deal and make it so you're whole and holy. They don't want you to be like that. What else? Evening, Venus, Libra, even, Eve, Venus, they're the same. The Venus, the veins, the divine, the vines, the veins, Libra, equilibrium, 9 o'clock, the feminine, paradox, Libra, Aries, the equinoxes, right? Libraries, alphabet, Aleph, Beta, Aleph is the bull, Taurus, paradox. And as I've said over and over, page 1 of Genesis, verse 14, chapter 1 of Genesis, first frickin' page says God created the stars in the heavens for signs and seasons. That is astrology. That's the Hermetic science. It's occultism, magic arts, spelling, language, spells, words, spells, magic spells. People are spellbound in this society today. They're spellbound. They're word controlled. They don't think about words. They don't break them down. They don't break the spell. They're under the hex of the hag of the 6. The sex. Right brain, Ra, right ascension, the right hemisphere. So we're going to deal with the paradox of paradise and the parables of Ra, the sun, Re. Equilibrium, Lady Liberty. 12 pairs of cranial nerves, just like the 12 houses of the zodiac, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 apostles, apostles, positions of Jesus, Jupiter, Zeus, God's son on the ecliptic. Cerebrum, Aries is in your brain. Pisces is in your feet, your fishes. In your shins, the sins is Aquarius, Aqua, Osiris, kneecaps, Capricorn. This is the human body put horizontally here. It's not going vertically. That's why they're positioned like that. The thighs is Sagittarius, the sag of Taurus. Scorpio in the genitals. Libra in the hips. 9 o'clock. The cerebrums, Sarah and Abraham's Brahma. There was Brahma before Abraham. None of these people are historical or literal. They're all mystical. They're talking about myth, and myth does not mean a lie. This is mystical realities within you. It's within. Kingdom of Heaven's within you. Libra, Aries, 9 o'clock Libra. So Eve and Adam, the odd and the even, they're not people. So this whole thing of taking it literally with Judaism, Orthodox Judaism, straight thinking Judaism, saying that the female is to blame, scapegoating women, scapegoating nature, scapegoating the ground, taking this literally. When God says, oh, I'm cursing the earth, then they literally say, oh, everything on the earth is cursed. When they don't understand that it's symbolic. It's a symbolic story, not literal. So this is why it's so important to take this symbolically and not literally. To understand that everything happens in here is what's happening in your body. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Above thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So God would be the seven, right, within you, and you're prohibited from eating of this, right? Because this is not any old knowledge. This is the inferior one. The superior one's life and light, right? This is the paradox. You see, we're dealing with paradox, contradiction, and the one is in the other. These are not to be understood as, completely separate. They're attached at the hip, the hips of Libra at 9. All of it. God and devil, good and evil. Oh, and look at this. What synchronicity. I just opened this. Look. I did not plan that. I solemnly swear. Sold in my soul. Libra, that's where. Constellation. The balance. See zodiac. See Zodiah. The house. Daya.